Hi guys, I'm Scott Speed, driver of this amazing Volkswagen Beetle GRC car. I got good news for the iRacing fam. We got this coming in. I'm currently working on it myself personally to make sure that it is as accurate as possible. With the addition of dirt and now this mean car, it is gonna be so fun. And it's gonna be available free to all the iRacing members. Personally, I can't wait to get out there and race you guys on it.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
Hello and welcome to round 12 of the iRacing official online V8 Supercar series. Tonight I have the glorious Jay Kennedy, our director, with us once again, but we have a bit of a special guest for tonight. Our season champion for this season, Ian Ford, is here for the finale with an inassailable lead, so he's here to commentate. How are you, boys?
Yeah, pretty good. Quite happy to be sitting out this race. It looks like it's going to be a fairly tight battle, and it's going to be quite rough at turn 1 from the looks of it.
Yeah, always is here at Nurburgring. Definitely a race you probably want to avoid, but got it all sealed up with 1 round to spare, mate. Is this your second title you've gone for now?
Yeah, second title. Obviously there's a bit less of a competition barrier in this season. My first one was sealed with Ethan, Sam Sutton, and Richard Hampstead, all those boys racing. So it was quite a good thing to wrap up. But number 2 is always just as good.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, big congratulations to you, mate. But now we look forward to this season finale. We've got 25 laps around this Nurburgring GP circuit. Probably one of the the more new tracks that we have on the calendar, so a lot less experience out there, and the guys are clocking their first qualifying laps now. Fastest so far is Corey Preston with a 1:59.3, but guys yet to do laps still include Phil Cell, Cubus, and some other really quick guys.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see who gets pole here. Obviously, pole's not the be-all and end-all of this racetrack, but it certainly punishes those that are hard on their front tyres, so maybe we'll see some of the aggressive drivers maybe making a break and hoping they can stay there.
Yeah, no doubt. We've just seen Jared Filsell jump up to just dethrone Corey Preston from that pole position spot with a 1:59.34, about 300ths faster than Corey. We'll take a look now at our championship standings if we can. Ian Ford, as you mentioned, mate, taking the championship with 1,536 points, but Corey Preston was the one who was chasing you all season, and he's going to sit there relatively comfortably on 13-17. He may improve a little bit tonight, but he's not going to catch you, and realistically, he's not going to be caught from the guys from behind, so congratulations to Corey for P2 this season. But the battle for third, that's a little bit more interesting. Marlon McMullen, Ryan O'Sullivan, Mike Talienchich and Luke Harvey as well. Well, Kloosterman and McLeod as well. It's really close between these guys. About 100 points between all of them, and I'm pretty sure all of them except Kloosterman are on the grid tonight.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be on for young and old for that third spot in the championship. Obviously, Marlon's up in P4 at the moment in qualifying, so, you know, hopefully he gets a good start and can hold it, but obviously being an ERT boy, I'm going to be supporting Sully and Luke, and hopefully they can drive hard and, you know, get the points when they need it.
Yeah, all these guys have shown really strong showings this season. The ERT boys, as mentioned, and Marlon making a bit of a return over some time off, and has come to race the Monday Night Series again, which is really good to see. But just seeing most of the guys finish their qual laps, it looks like it's going to be Jared Filsell taking pole on that 1:59.343 that we mentioned, and it's actually quite close between the top three. Filsell's time was about 300ths faster than Corey Preston, which was another 300ths faster than Bo Cubis in third, and then we go back about 4/10ths to Marlon, Mitch, Luke, Bensi, Ryan Borg, all these guys quite close. I think the battle for first and the battle for fourth is going to be quite close tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you've got the people just outside the top five there as well, which are going to be quite interesting to see. Brian Borg can turn on the pace when he needs it, and also you've got Mitch McLeod sitting in P5, so, you know, all it takes is one good start here and one good run through that first corner, and you could take the lead and, you know, try and defend and keep it for the rest of the race. But it's going to be really interesting to see how aggressive these guys are at the start, considering last time we were here.
Yeah, it fans out and you can be really, really wide and make three wide moves, but it's a bit of a risk versus reward thing with 25 laps. One guy who I think we should give a bit of a shout out to is Mitchell McLeod in 5th. Jay, mate, your teammate, he's actually done some practice this week by the looks of it.
I don't know if you call it practice, but he turned up to a practice session and did a couple of laps and actually has half decent pace. So the practice session we were watching before, he was only 6,000ths off the pace that Jared Filsell's got. So he did mess up his second quali lap, but he actually looked like he was on it as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how he goes at the start. But less than 1/10 of a second separating the top three, and then not much separating the guys behind that. It's going to be really, really close. It's really going to come down to who can get that best launch off the line.
Yeah, there's plenty of passing zones here as well, so I think we'll see sort of battle pack style racing here, but the guys are going to start to grid up now. We'll run through our grid. Jared Filsell for Harrop TTR takes pole. Corey Preston joins him on the front row with Bo Cubis and Marlon McMullen in 3rd and 4th. Mitchell McLeod is in 5th with Luke Harvey 6th, Jason Bentz 7th, Brian Borg 8th, Ryan O'Sullivan 9th, and Matt Stratford rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, it's Gary Cooper, Daniel Williams, Nick Cummins, Michael Hammond, Hayden Dodman just slides himself into that top 15, Michael Taliancic, David A. Moore, Ali Turkinen, David Miller, Luke Page, Guy Leach, and Brendan Jackson and Sean Chappell. The 23 drivers, surprisingly, everyone's actually done a qual lap tonight. That's very unusual. We don't normally see that.
It's quite condensed too, about 3 seconds in it. You normally expect a little bit more, but we should mention that it's only a 23 car field tonight, so the field split quite nicely, which means we'll probably see quite a good strength of field, which means for those guys we were talking about battling for third in the championship, this is going to be a really, really important race. Ian, I know you've had to focus all season battling the soft system to try and make sure you get the best points, so I think this one will be important for these guys trying to jump up into third.
Yeah, certainly. It's good to see the soft come back on a Monday night. It was a bit weak at the start of the season, and you had to jump into like Euro softs and crazy servers. But it's great to see it back up here, and I think we're going to see it all come down on the line for that third place now.
Yeah, a lot of it, of course, coming down to the fact that we've got Australian servers back, which means we should see, as we saw last week at Okayama, some really, really good door-to-door action. But about 10 seconds now until we're going to start seeing lights. Everyone gridded up.
Excited to see how they all get away here. It's going to be really, really tight into that really condensed turn 1.
Revs are starting to rise now. They're ready to go. 25 laps here at the Nurburgring, and we are away and racing. Great start from Marley McMullen on the second row. He's
Cubis slow to get away.
Oh, Mitchell McLeod with an incredible start in fifth, but he's got nowhere to go. Tries to play it smart into one. A little bit tight there between Corey and Marlon. Guys running really wide on cold tyres with 3 wide back in the field.
Geez, back at the pack is not where you want to be right now. You've got Michael Taylor Janice absolutely side by side with people. It's going on for young and old, but Jared's got away just as he had to.
Yeah, all clean so far. Nice and tight and close as we mentioned, but all clean, which is really good as they're going to stretch out onto this little straightaway out of the Mercedes-Benz section.
How good's the start been from Brian Borg? He's cleared himself up into P6 almost instantly. But the biggest loser out of that's been Bo Cubis. He's dropped back. It's, Jason Bentz, all sorts of crossed up.
Yeah, a lot of corners.
That's not what you want to have happen there. You've got to really set up the run down into this slow corner, and everyone bottling up is just going to allow others to attack.
It looks like Luke Harvey's actually done a really good job off his start. He's up to P4, so he's managed to make his way past Mitchell McLeod. And pretty much that's separated that top 3 in front of most of the field. There's about a 1 second margin between Harvey and McMullen, so look for these top 3 to break away. But
O'Sullivan's slowing down, is he? No.
Yeah, he might have got to slow down up through the S's there. He backed off quite dramatically.
Another car slowing there on the inside as well. Not sure who that was. Might have been
O'Sullivan. Definitely got to slow down through the Schumacher S.
And yeah, Daniel Williams as well had to slow down as well. But Hayden Dodman's been a big jump as well. He's up into P10. Started in 15th.
Good starts from him, but Ian, we've both done a fair bit of GT racing around this track. Some of the limits with the off-tracks and slowdowns, especially through that Schumacher S, are fairly brutal, and you can send a hero to 0 straight away, as you've seen Ryan O'Sullivan go all the way back to, I think, almost
17th,
20s.
Yeah, they've broken the cardinal rule.
David A. Moore into the
slow
pits
down
too.
on the first lap. And as we come down into first corner here, there's an absolute decent battle with Daniel Williams. It looks like 3 wide into the first corner is going to work this time.
He's going to get 2 in 1. Nicely done. 3 in 1. Daniel Williams makes 3 spots into turn 1. Brilliant move. Ryan O'Sullivan tries to take a piece of the cake as well, and does.
Oh, he's going to be hanging on the outside there, which is, it's just going to pull off for him.
If he can keep it here, he's going to have the line pretty easy into the right-hander. And he's done that. So Ryan O'Sullivan starting to reconcile after that slowdown.
Yep, and he'll probably be thinking of going onto a radical strategy to try and jump the field in the pit stop. I think they've got to put on about 45 to 50 litres tonight, which is, a considerable time lost in the pits. But, if he's battling in traffic, if he gets up to a slow pack, then maybe that's the way to go.
On screen we've got Luke Harvey, Mitch McLeod,
no doubt,
who have closed up really, really quick. Sorry, Jake.
It's all good, Jay. I think just being used to you directing.
Used to ignoring me instead of talking to me.
That's right. I was about to pretty much replicate what you were saying, but yep. Here's that. I think we said McLeod and Harvey. I think Mitch probably has the pace to get around Harvey, but Harvey has the track position. If I was Mitch, I'd probably maybe just stay behind Harvey for a few laps, get a bit of fuel saving done. We know that's something you like to do a fair bit, Ian. Save a bit of that fuel and just get all the moves done in the stops.
Yeah, if you can do it that way, then you can. But around here, I think the pace is the thing that you definitely need, because most of the corners lead onto big straights, so you can't really roll into them, and you have to be pretty aggressive out of them. As Matthew Stratford just pulled a move on Jason Bentz, I believe that was, and moved up into P8.
Not over for Bentz though, he's got Dodman down the inside now. Bentz has a straight line advantage, so there's not going to be much of an overlap. Dodman's going to want to be careful he doesn't plough into Stratford on the way down into turn 1, but Bentz on the anchors early, and that's going to be moved almost done for Hayden Dodman, not quite. Oh. Bentz got a little bit loose there, almost got into the side of Hayden Dodman, but Dodman gets the move done too.
Yeah, no matter how many cars.
Oh, here comes Bentz again.
It's sideways.
Oh, he's actually contact into Dodman, and Dodman's lost the spot back to Hammond as well.
Yeah, looked a little bit signs of netcode there.
Yeah.
Bentz seemed to have a little bit of lag going into there, so won't think too much of that. And while that was all going on, the two cars in front have been going at it, and Stratford's also got past Brian Borg, so quite a productive couple laps for Matt Stratford.
Yeah, Matt Stratford won the early race, so he should be able to pull a decent gap on Borgie here, and he'll be up in the next pack battling by in about 5 or so laps, I reckon. As Luke Harvey seems to be in one of those awkward positions, which I never like to be in, with Mitch McLeod breathing down the back of your neck. It's one of those off-putting things. Hopefully he keeps a cool head, but it looks like Mitch is trying to find the first opportunity to get by.
Tell you who does have huge pace though is Bo Cubis. Look at how he's closing onto these two. Should close that gap probably another 3/10 this lap. Just taking a little look into the text chat in this race, guys talking about gear ratios. Big differences, guys running as low as 1.0, Jared Filsell quoting 1.042, and Mike T saying as high as 1.13. So look for some differences in terms of traction, steer and straight line between these guys.
Yeah, if I know Jared as well as I do, it's most of that will be just trying to contain the traction out of some of the slower corners, and just since they lead onto such vital straights. But having a shorter gear ratio means you can get a quicker punch out of the corner, and 9 times out of 10 that'll destroy your tyres faster. As Bo Cubis is right up on the back of Mitch McLeod now.
Yeah, as I said, 3/10 last time, so Cubis, I'm going to say, is probably going to want to get this done as soon as he can. Mitch may be struggling as the tyres are starting to plateau.
Yeah, this is the point where, as a driver, this is where I'd be looking at seeing who's harder on the tyres. You'd start seeing people fall off a little bit, and maybe Mitch is just hanging back a little bit just so he doesn't destroy his tyres right up behind Luke. But it's going to be quite hard now that Bo's right on the back of him.
Yeah, Harvey's throwing it in deep into all the corners, which is fine because he's getting it slowed at the apex and getting the car squared off as Mitch actually runs really deep.
Got Hayden Dodman move up the inside back on Michael Hammond, so he's got one position back after that weird glitch from before, and Bentz has actually pulled ahead and got past Brian Borg and pulled a massive gap already. So
Yeah,
Dodman's really lost out.
Keep with Stratford, so Jason Bentz a lot faster than probably what his qualifying time showed.
Down the back of the field, you've also got Guy Leach attacking Ali, which is a awesome little wording to say, but that looks like it might be on for the rest of the race. It looks like they're pretty equal mostly around the track.
Yeah, Turkinen ran wide there, and Leach always thought about making a move up the inside, but I think good idea that he pulled out of that one. That's the battle for 16th position.
Leach has to keep in the back of his mind though that Turkinen.
Oh, Cubis! Cubis McLeod, side by side. Move done.
If we can get a replay as well back in the field, I was looking at Guy Leach. He's been sent by Gary Cooper into the chicane and been turned around.
Yeah, that was quite an aggressive move by Cooper, which didn't seem to work out very well.
I think maybe that was an accidental one. He did apologise over the game chat and seemed to pinch the rear brakes a fair bit. So we'll see if we can get a replay of that. But,
yeah, got a replay coming up now.
Good move by Cubis. In the meantime,
try and get a replay of that move as well, because we just caught the last end of it, so I'll try and get a replay up for that as well.
Should also mention as well, while we're looking at these replays, Jared Filsell's extended to a 2.5 second lead with a 159.9 last time by, so he's just getting faster and faster by the looks of it. And Corey Preston seemingly struggling with tyre wear, doing a 2:06 last time by, so Marlon's actually bringing Corey in a bit now.
Yeah, looking through the field, everyone's pace has dropped a fair bit. It's like Vince did a 2:07 there, so it's like he's pretty comparable with Corey, so there's an awfully tight bunching of pace throughout the field there in the top 10.
We're watching the replay of the other incidents. Bence actually has got past Stratford, so that was done into turn 1. So
yeah, Bence is flying. Gotta give it to him.
Pace.
Someone else who I think we got to give credit to is Luke Harvey. He's got Bo Cubis and Mitch McLeod on his tail. Should mention that both Cubis and McLeod are absolute veterans in this car. They've won championships between them, and
did Mitch
Harvey
win
obviously, yeah, back
Okay.
back when the dinosaurs roamed the
I think
earth,
we broadcast in black and white back in those days, didn't we?
I don't think we were broadcasting at all, mate.
I actually weren't.
But Mitch and Bo are two fierce guys to keep behind, and Luke Harvey has been doing it for a while. Obviously one of your teammates, Ian, but he's doing really well to keep these guys behind him.
Yeah, he keeps a level head. Obviously, if it gets too much, he may let Bo by and just follow him. But
big dive!
He sent it.
Big mistake.
Completely missed the corner though. Yeah, that's a big error there. He's just missed the braking point. Apologises over the radio, but that's going to promote Mitchell McLeod up to P5.
Good thing though is he knows
experience doesn't keep you on the track all the time.
he knows he's got the pace to get past too, so he'll get that move done again pretty quickly, I would think. But I'm not sure on what the pit window's like, but I'm be fairly sure that it won't be far away from opening up.
Well, with the tyre wear that Ian mentioned, how it burns the
Oh,
front
big crash. Taliancic and O'Sullivan, both facing the wrong direction in turn 3.
Yeah, that's a weird move there. Looks like Taliancic maybe slowed up a little bit much at the apex and just caught O'Sullivan off guard in the stadium section, and O'Sullivan redressed that though, but still. Hopefully not too much damage to either of those cars.
Yeah, that's just one of those corners where once the fronts start wearing off, you have to go in there awkwardly slow, and the car doesn't really respond that well, but you know, it's good to see that he redressed it and just held off and stuck behind him.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of guys, like particularly over the last couple of laps, just completely miss braking markers. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, or whether the fronts just wear away that bad that it makes the braking marker that much longer. But either way.
With the high pace and high quality of some of these drivers, it's like they're all probably just trying to hold the limit, and you know, when you overstep it around here, it's like you do go a long way off the track usually.
I'm all for us turning left just before the last corner there and doing the full Nordschleife. I think that would be even less forgiving.
That's my vote for Season 4. Hopefully we get there. It's been a shame that the V8 hasn't gone there, because it is quite a wild ride in this car.
Well, the way I see it is we went to Le Mans, so in terms of length, we can go there once a year, surely.
Michael Hammond up the inside, Nick Cummins, as we have this discussion. Oh, big mistake from Hammond. He's missed the corner, and Cummins gone back through again. So that's a few guys we've seen miss turn 1, completely misjudge turn 1, especially that have got draft as well. They've used that draft and missed the braking point.
Yeah, once they go in that slight bit deep, they just lock the front right, and you know, off they go in their own little journey down into Narnia down there. But you know, back to the discussion, I think that we should end up there in Season 4, and you know, we'll see if Mitch can get by Luke at the moment, because he's right on the back of him now. Luke looks like he's struggling a little bit.
Hopefully, I assume Mitch would have probably learnt from some of the mistakes of Cubis and the others, that offline there isn't too much grip and you've got to be careful when you're threshold braking like that. So I think Mitch will probably play it smart and line this move up. He knows he's probably not going to catch Corey and Marlon, so he just wants to focus on getting this move done for P4.
Yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see just how much pace Mitch is lacking while sitting behind Luke there. It'd be interesting to see if he could go any faster once he's unleashed, but you know, in the other words, he's got to make this move very careful, otherwise Bo Cubis is just going to absolutely pounce on him.
It's way too easy to come back on someone exiting turn 1. I think if you want to make the move, this last chicane is probably the place to do it.
I've seen a few moves into that final corner as well, because then they're actually making advantage and still getting a run out of the last corner. So you see Mitch taking a really wide line to try and get the run.
Must be so tempting for Cubis just to show a nose. But
He thought about it.
Problem is you show a nose there and you're going to turn the guy around, so he's been quite considerate at the moment that Mitch is running the later apexes.
Yeah, he's watching and he's going to try and get side by side here. It's going to be interesting to see if he holds the outside. No,
He'll go the over-under.
Yep, going over-under.
Mitch
He
will
might
cover,
poke it
I
up here.
reckon. And Mitch fires it at the apex to try and prevent a dive bomb. Nearly collects Harvey while he's at it.
It's quite good to sit on the outside of the battle and not have to worry about anyone.
Mitch just lit it up coming out of the corner, and that's hurt his run.
That'll probably give Harvey a bit of a breather for the next half a lap until they all bottle up, but it looks like Harvey was right on the inside there, which is a bit of
He's
a
been
weird
running
line
that-
to
He's been doing that every lap.
Yeah, every lap.
though.
It's been a really strange line. It's obviously
Very
working for him, though.
GT3-esque, that line there, but should also mention that we're lap 8 now, so we're talking sort of wanting to pit rather soon. You'd probably want to split the race in half, I'd say probably lap 12 or 13, but could see a couple guys try for an undercut. If I was Cubis, I'd probably do that.
Yeah, if it was Cubis this lap, he'd definitely get an undercut and, you know, then he'd probably pull away and absolutely jump both these guys and not have to deal with it, but it depends how much fuel they can actually fit in. I can't remember how much fuel they can actually fit in the cars this week.
No good asking me. I've got no idea. I don't know anything about anything anymore.
But we'll make you an
tank
honorary
restriction-
degree in that.
The restriction's 65 litres, so to fit 45 in, you need about 20 in the tank, so I'm assuming that's probably going to be
Lap
good
10
for
or lap
about
11?
4 laps, yeah, so 10 or 11 probably be the way to go.
Oh,
So
here
you
comes
wouldn't wanna pit
Cubis.
now.
Thought about putting the nose up in there again as Mitch runs that really different line through the
Looks
final
like
corner.
Mitch had a
has a
good
run.
run that time,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Mitch is going to have a look, I reckon. If he can keep the car on the road down into turn 1, he would be worth having a dive. He shows a nose, brakes relatively late. Is he going to get an overlap? He hasn't quite got it.
Oh.
It's close.
Cubis is there now to take advantage of this.
You can tell Mitch has been careful because he's seen guys make mistakes down into there. But he needed to commit a little bit more than that, unfortunately.
Yeah, there wasn't much room there for Harvey to fall back into, but you know, he just managed to do it, and maybe that's just Mitch testing the waters, and maybe a next lap around he's going to be, you know, firing it down there with everything he has.
Yeah, good vehicle awareness from Harvey there. He knew when to shut the door.
Oh, while we're talking about these guys, Gary Cooper is absolutely up behind Luke Page with David Miller smack bang behind him. It's pretty much the replica of the battle that's going on for the top 5 there.
Yeah, so this is for 18th position, Page in 18th, Cooper 19th, Miller in 20th.
Miller just made a little mistake there, but from looking at his pace that he came up on the back of the others with before, it's like he's definitely going to be doing that again.
Yeah, I think Luke Page, bit of a touch there at the hairpin, but Page isn't a name I've heard of in this series before, so good to see new guys out there having a crack in the top split.
Yeah, it's been good to see a lot of KRF drivers popping up here and there. It's been a bit of a while since I've seen them populate the V8 as much as we have, but it's, you know, it's great to see everyone out on Monday
Here comes
night.
Cubis, guys.
Cubis, yeah. I was going to say, Cubis is having a look, shows a nose, just trying to get in the mirrors of Mitch. He's not an easily intimidated guy.
Probably a Jason Bentz. Bentz is nearly a full second quicker than these guys last lap around, and he is right there in this battle now as well.
Yeah, he's got serious pace. We said this about 5 or 6 laps ago. If I was Bentz, I would actually stay out longer and try and go for the overcut, because I reckon he's faster on old tyres than what these guys are on new.
Once again, it's like about a half second gain on Luke Harvey from Bentz then, so you know, he's going to be sitting in the back of this pack and just chilling out, waiting for people to make mistakes like everyone's been doing, or, you know, probably he's going to be definitely playing this pit strategy game and, he definitely has the pace to come out on top if he does his best.
And should also mention in terms of our top three, Phil Sell's gone off to join the prototype class, but Corey Preston and Marlon McMullen, only 1.2 seconds between them, and Marlon brought in 3/10, so there could be a race on between these two for P2.
It's going to be really interesting to see how everything plays out after these pit stops, because actually looking at this little train of cars behind Harvey, Stratford's closing in on him too now. He's not far away from getting involved too.
I think they're actually slowing each other up, just not because Harvey's slower or Mitch is slower, but I think because they're all taking such different lines, they're actually compromising one another because they're just not getting into that rhythm and not feeling comfortable around each other.
They're hesitating a little bit, thinking is someone else looking at making a move, and they're probably driving a little bit too much in the mirror as well.
Yeah, and while all that's going on, the Battle of 18th is still going as it was. Everyone's all bunched up and trying to replicate what the top 5 are doing.
McLeod's right there now. He's right on the tail. 1 second separating these 4 cars.
Oh, it's going to be on into the last corner.
Oh, slight push around.
Yeah, Mitch was sideways anyway. He landed awkwardly off that
Bence is
curb.
jumping on it. Bence is in the pits, so here we go, going for the undercut.
And so is Borg in. We'll get a replay. Pick up exactly
Mitch
what happened.
McLeod lit the tyres up beautifully after that rotate. That was really cool. But what he's done is he's actually smacked the first curb a little bit hard and then hit the second one. And as he's landed, it's landed awkwardly. And just at the same time, he's copped a slight tap from Bo Cubis, and that's just pushed him all the way around.
Sort of what we were talking about, like with the hesitation and not knowing what guys are going to make moves and when they're making moves. Bence, Borg, first two to play their cards and pitting. Those guys had really good pace too, so it'll be interesting to see with this.
As Gary Cooper in 18th is going 3 wide into turn 1, it's going to be quite tough here.
Oh, Miller's going to get them both. Not quite though, it's going to be Cooper and Miller on the run into 2.
Oh.
Cop that, bit of a door whack there from Cooper.
Cooper says no to that one.
Miller's going to maintain over Page though, so I think Page was just a little bit left out to dry there. He didn't really have any option. But let's look
Hammond
at
and
where
Williams
Bence has come out.
Hammond and Williams side by side into the hairpin. And move done for Daniel Williams.
Daniel Williams has certainly been doing good in the last couple of weeks. He's come up through the Dev Series and, you know, he's been driving the wheels off that thing and he's been quite competitive like we saw it last week at Okayama.
He didn't have a good start either. Remember, he was back in 19th after the first couple of laps. He's made his way back up into 10th, so good drive from him so far.
Let's see who responds to Bence now. I think we'll probably see everyone in that battle for 4th in. Preston and Phil Cell stay out.
McMullen thought about it.
Let's see if Harvey responds. No, he doesn't. He's going for the overcut. None from Cubis or Stratford either. So this is going to really play into Bence's hands if he can stay out of traffic and do really, really fast laps.
McLeod and Dodman both in.
Yeah, from the live timing at the moment, it looks like Bence has taken a fair second out of Harvey, so, you know, maybe staying out is now the only option since the undercut is so vital, Randy.
He is coming up on a little bit of traffic though, which could hinder him. Got Sean Chappell just in front of him in the 23 car.
As they both stay out, so Chappell is definitely going to stay in the way, so Bence is going to have to make this move work to really make his night pay off.
He's going to get it done before the start-finish line. He's got a great exit out of that final corner. Bence.
Chappell will be a bit lighter though. See if he tries to do anything with it. On the brakes early, so that's going to be moved done. So 236.4 was Bence's outlap there. You can compare that to McLeod's.
McLeod and Dodman both fairly slow pit stop times in comparison to Bence and Borg. And Borg's managed to now clear about 4 seconds over McLeod.
Cubis down into the hairpin then was just absolutely giving Harvey some motivation to get around the corner faster, and it's going to be one or the other pitting here, so, you know, hopefully one of them gets out of the way of the other and they just get on with their day, because it looks like it might be a pretty aggressive little squabble.
Yeah, I think Cubus ideally wants to do something in the pits. I think Harvey's driving, as we said, really hard into the corners, which is making him quite hard to pass. Very good defensive driving, well, not really doing anything defensive, but just makes him hard to pass,
Just
and we'll see what
good
they
old
do this
alternate
time.
line there, isn't it? Oh, they're both in.
He's not even using the alternate line, and Ian would know when you race against Richard Hampstead, he's actually really good at just driving his car in a way that even though you're on the normal line, it's very difficult to pass. And I think Harvey's doing that a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, he just hits his marks, like does all the vital things that you need to do, and it just makes it extremely awkward because you don't really get a run on him anywhere. And even when you brake as deep as you can, it's like, you know, because he's going to hit the apex anyway, it's sort of like blocks off your entry. So that's one of the most difficult things. Luke's doing it pretty well tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out compared to Bence. So I think Bence will have a couple of seconds on him here.
Well, Bence is rounding the last corner now and onto the straightaway. You see Marlon gets dropped, so he could even have Marlon here. Bensie's done it, yeah. Bensie's going to be racing Marlon into turn 1.
As Harvey and Cubus come out side by side and tapping each other, that's the way you want to do it.
Cubus has done it, he's done just enough. Perfectly executed there from Bo Cubus and just taken like enough fuel to get out in front of Luke Harvey. But has he taken enough?
Yeah, he's taken about 1.5 seconds longer in regards to fuel over Jason Bence, who's had the quickest pit stop of the lot by about 3 seconds over McMullen.
Bence could have underfueled though.
True.
I think Marlon's probably played it safe, but it's kind of interesting to contrast these two because we got the slowest and the fastest pit stops in the field. So I think it's going to be quite interesting now, McMullen and Preston. If Preston gets just a half decent stop, he should be able to maintain over McMullen.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see. I think Preston should come
Preston's
out on top.
in now.
But where
Keep
we're
it
seeing
lining.
where we're seeing the true pace of Bence before, will he be able to actually challenge Marlon? This is going to be the interesting thing to see. Hopefully he does have enough pace to keep it up there.
Not sure if we saw that, but Preston was all 4 tyres locked on entry there. Really committed in the pit, so you'll probably find a bit of time out of that. But I think Bence is probably where he belongs now in terms of speed. So it'll be really good to see if he needs to save fuel and if he can keep up with Marlon.
And O'Sullivan there in the pit entry, absolutely doing the motocross thing and using this entry curb as a berm.
Yeah, so we'll see where Preston drops. Preston's still in the box.
I think he should have enough. McMullen just coming out of the final corner.
He's put the foot down. He's down. Limiter's off and away.
Oh, she's going to be tight in there.
Yeah, Marlon, of course, will be on hot rubber. It is a 36-degree track, so it's not going to make a huge difference, but I would say that's probably closer than what it was before. So Corey obviously having a bit of a slow stop as well.
Oh, look, Marlon's right there now, ready to take this take this position.
And he's going to do it. He's going to go to the outside on the run down to the left-hander, pin Corey on the inside. No, he doesn't. If he can hold this here, Corey's way deep. And parks the bus beautifully on Marlon there.
Probably the worst track to do it. It's like once you get forced onto that inside, you just can't have a decent run onto the straight. So Marlon's definitely going to be trying to force the issue and try and slow Corey down onto the straights just until his tyres warm up. Corey squares off quite nicely though, heading up towards the S's.
So I think 4 cars left to pit. Phil Sal, Taliancic, Turkinen and Chappell.
Yeah, Phil Cell deciding to go long. Obviously got a slightly bigger fuel tank in those prototypes.
Now they got a 44-second lead at the moment.
Got a bit of a balance of power advantage up there, I reckon.
Tell you what, Cubus has got really good pace now too, because he's now closing back in on Bence. And he's left Luke Harvey. He's pulled a 1.5 second
Cloud
gap.
has actually been dumped a fair way back. I know he spun, but I think he's even lost maybe a bit more time in the pits.
Yeah, Stratford's probably been a big winner after the pit stops. He's pulled back ahead of Borg, who he was battling with.
Oh, is Marlon going to
Here we
make a
go.
move down the main straight here this time, though?
It's on now, for sure. Here comes Bence. Thought about a late move.
To put it in perspective, Bence is running P6 and effective P4.
P4.
And Phil Sell's last lap on 15 lap old tyres is faster than Bence's fastest.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much expected. Once you hit a certain level up there, you can pretty much maintain a decent advantage to the field, and I think that just pretty much proves it.
I've just seen Cubis's last time. It wasn't legal, but a 1:59.5.
Fastest lap of the
That's
race.
so
Unofficial.
fast. Unofficial fastest lap of the race.
And he didn't even bypass the last chicane, so it's going to be quite interesting to see if he can get by Bence here quickly, and maybe second place is where he's at.
If he's got the grip and he's got the confidence, I say just chuck it down all three of them into the first corner. Just see if he can make it. We saw
Win it or bin it.
Williams do it earlier.
Win it or bin it for sure.
You can get the run off the corner, so what do you got to lose? Probably, if you go for that big of a dive, you're going to freak the other two guys out a little bit, and they'll probably make mistakes of their own. Have a big dive, see what you
Phil
can do
Sell's
with it.
in the lane.
Yeah, depending on who you are, you're chucking it back to first there anyway, so you may as well chuck it into first and hook her in and hope that everyone else moves out of the way.
While this battling's been going on, you can see a little bit of a gap starting to form between Preston and McMullen, but Benson Cubis is where it's at right now.
I'm just looking back into the field, into 14th at the moment. You've got Hammond and O'Sullivan. It's like they've had a fair bit of a few run-ins in the last few weeks, so maybe it's going to be on now.
Cubis just locked it up into the final corner and just gave Bence a little bit of a reminder that he's there, ready to pounce, ready to make a move.
I think Cubis is probably going to want to be careful because this track isn't a great one for off tracks. Oh! As Benz nearly collects McMullen. It's going to be on between Cubis and Benz now. But Cubis, I think, has probably collected a couple 4Xs in this race, so he's going to want to watch the incident count.
Here he goes, up the inside, move done.
Beautiful over-under, but Benz is going to try hold the outside. Doesn't have the overlap though. Great move.
Oh, that's about as textbook as you can get in that section, as O'Sullivan has actually got by Hammond. Hammond's not giving up easily though, he's hanging it outsidewards trying to get up there.
Big
and he's
dive.
Yep.
He can go for the over and under. Not quite. Good move there by O'Sullivan.
Probably not the race O'Sullivan needed either, trying to battle for third in the championship there, but it's good to see him moving back through the field, and he's relatively with Daniel Williams, who is back at the back with after those slowdowns on the first lap.
Mitchell McLeod's closed right up onto Brian Borg now. Last lap by 1.3 seconds quicker than Borg. So McLeod looking to pounce and take advantage.
As a result of that spin, he's probably further back than what he deserves to be anyway. Mitch.
Bence almost got into the back of Cubis there. He just went in way too deep, and he's just let go of all the advantage that he gained.
McMullen looks to be closing a bit on Corey. Corey was pulling a bit of a gap, but I think Corey just had that first flying lap on new tyres, and now Corey is...
Whoa!
What's happened? He's trying to clear a slowdown.
Yep.
And he must have got one in the chicane, I assume, and it's still not cleared by the looks of it. No, cleared now.
Cubis has gone really wide through the final corner, and he's left himself vulnerable for Bence, and Harvey started to close up as well now.
Bence could have a lunge here. I wouldn't put it past him. Cubis runs slightly narrow.
Oh, as Corey had to get out of it then, because he was just going to drill McMullen.
Yeah, this is where Corey needs to not panic. He has a bit of a tendency when these slowdowns and stuff happens to lose it a little bit. He needs to get back in his rhythm.
Yep, just
Put
take
his
a
head
deep
down.
breath.
Oh!
Cubis got him.
Good driving by Jason Bence there. That was really good driving by Jason Bence to keep that out of
And
Corey
Cubis
Preston.
is
Cubis readdress. Yep.
But have a look at Harvey. Oh! 2x2.
This is...
Oh!
What a save by Cubus though. I think Cubus didn't really see Harvey coming there. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, getting in him again.
Fed Harvey.
Wow.
Poor Harvey, he was doing nothing wrong there. He brought up a beautiful slingshot and Cubus has come down on him and then given him a good pot on exit.
Here comes McLeod looking on Bents as well, so try and keep an eye on both these battles going on.
I was going to say maybe Harvey was trying to play the slow game and just take care of his tyres while everyone else battled, but you know, he's giving it to the best up there, so it's going to be interesting to see if he has the pace to close back down on Cubus after those few hits.
Yeah, how none of those cars ended up backwards or upside down, I've got no idea. There was a fair bit of contact there, all starting between Cubus and Corey.
Yeah, certainly a lot of good driving there just to hang on to those cars and, you know, make sure all was fair, but it's allowed McMullen to pull over a 2-second gap, so he's absolutely up the road and he's gone for P2.
Yeah, and that'll be, I think, his P3 in the championship, depending on the drop rounds, pretty well solidified there, because I think they'll get good points tonight, because it's a slightly smaller field and a very competitive field, so McMullen just needs to keep it on the road for the next 8 laps.
And Mitch still hasn't got by Brian Borg. Brian's putting up a hell of a fight back there and running pretty much the same pace as him. It's just going to be whoever makes a mistake first is going to benefit out of that one with about 8 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Mitch hasn't looked a little bit more aggressive. I mean, it's still 8 laps to go in this race, so still heaps of time, but McLeod's known to try and be a bit more aggressive in his passing. I was going to say he's hot-headed, but no, he is hot-headed. We'll go with that. I'm allowed to say it, am I?
You are. It's like I've had a few run-ins with him, and usually it's been due to a fact of that it's been fairly much the first move you see is the only move, but from both of us. But other than that, at the moment it looks like he's driving quite mature and he's lining up a perfect move on.
Just looking
at the moment.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Bence and Harvey. Bence has been giving Morse code to Harvey right at the apex of the last few corners, and somehow I feel like Bence is a little bit impatient in getting past Harvey.
There was a bit of contact as Harvey tried readdressing that contact with Cubit, so maybe Bence is just not happy chappy at the moment with Luke, so it's going to be quite interesting because if he gets close enough and he gets a decent run, he's not going to leave any room at all for Harvey, I don't think.
Bit of red mist floating over the green hell, but
Cubis, just contact between Cubis and Preston. And Preston will have a slowdown.
I don't imagine Corey is going to be too happy with that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of retaliation, but kept the foot in it, so...
We have a replay coming up on screen. We only caught the last end of it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a mid-corner bump from Cubis. Oh, Corey's look. Oh no. We can look back live. Corey just had a massive lunge at Cubis into turn 1.
Oh, that's the first message of saying you're not happy for someone, and I don't think it's going to get any better for Corey if Cubis stays there.
Yeah, these two have a fair bit of history, and I think Cubis has maybe knocked Corey a couple times in this race now, so...
Cubis is definitely testing the waters with some of the contacts he's had this race, so I don't think he has much more luck up his sleeve, so hopefully he can pull a gap to Corey or, be the better man and drop back, but either way I think it's going to be quite exciting to see the end of this.
Yeah, well, there's about 6 laps to go now, so Corey's actually looking a bit faster than Cubis at the moment. Got to give it to Corey. If he can sort of channel his anger when he has after a contact like this, he can actually have some really, really good speed.
Yeah, he puts his head down, he does pretty well, and I think we've seen at Lime Rock he absolutely must love that place, and he's really competitive there, but once the temper goes, it's all out the window, so he might just need to just calm it down here, and he should be able to get back up there since he was running in second pretty easily before.
McLeod's still trying to set up this move on Brian Borg. He's not able to get it done. Last 2 times he's looked at getting the move done, it's been a little bit of a mistake from both guys, and he hasn't been able to get that move executed as nicely as he was hoping.
Well, I've heard Mitch say to me a couple of times that he doesn't really care where he's racing or who he's racing. As long as he has fun when he's racing, he doesn't really care. So I think Mitch probably just wants to get the move done cleanly so he can have an enjoyable race.
Yeah, and it's probably interesting to see if these guys are running different gearings, since the fact that Mitch can't really get close to him on the straights, but he has plenty of grunt down the corner.
Cubis and Preston changed position.
Yeah, Cubis readdressed once they'd got away from Harvey. So he obviously wanted to clear a gap so he doesn't lose more than one position. Either that or
Corey's run wide though, and Cubis is back on the attack on his bumper.
Cubis might have felt a little intimidated by Corey. Never know. But either way, we got 6 to go now, so P3 for Corey Preston.
And Luke and Benz are just wiling back up onto the back of this just in case it does get pretty heated. They're going to definitely gain out of it.
David Miller and Guy Lynch leaped side by side back in the field.
Interestingly,
And Mitch finally has a run on Borgie into the hairpin. Let's see if he can make it happen. Oh, he's up the inside. Oh, almost contact.
You're going to go too wide up on the run towards the Schumacher S though. Borgie has him clear. Not on exit though. McLeod's done it perfectly. He's going to get a nice little run. He's going to be on the wrong side of the racetrack, but still going to have an overlap. If he can keep this outside, he might be able to get a run into the next right, which he's done beautifully. Mitchell McLeod is going to be on the right-hand side.
Oh, and he's
Still
trying to
an
move
overlap.
over. Yep. Borgie's going to have to
Awesome
run here
racing.
into the chicane though. He's got the better run by a mile, and also the inside of the chicane.
McLeod doesn't lift. A battle of late breakers here. McLeod's not going to have it done, but are they going to run too wide through the chicane? No way, great
well
race.
done.
Job, boys.
Well
This
done.
is exactly what I was saying about Mitchell McLeod. He just loves racing, this guy. And he's finally, it took him half the lap, but he's got the move
As
done.
Corey is actually throwing a dive bomb back up the inside of Cubis. Cubis must have got by again.
And Harvey's there now too.
Oh, there's contact.
Contact.
That was actually probably fueled a little bit by Corey rather than Bo that time, I think. But now Harvey's going to got an open opportunity in front of him. But I think there's still a fair bit of red mist floating in Corey's helmet.
Oh,
5 to go.
That was a beautiful display by Mitch there, just going too wide into the chicane. Probably one of the only handful of drivers that you really trust going into some places and certain tracks.
Yeah, I think Mitch pretty much defines any corner a passing corner as long as you can do it with someone that you trust. So, 2 very respectful guys there in Borg and Mitch, and great racing as a result. But Corey actually clocked 2 laps that were completely invalid. So I assume that he got a slowdown in the chicane, and that invalidated his current and his next lap. So a little unsure about that, but Corey seems to be a little bit faster in the secondary part of the lap.
Yeah, he's certainly looking for a move there. Luke's just chilling out, waiting for a mistake, and I don't know if he has the pace to actually get past cleanly, but it's going to be quite interesting because if anyone makes a move here, they've got to make sure that it's done right. Otherwise, there is a couple of cars ready to go by.
Yeah, all 4 of these cars have closed up a little bit over the last lap. I think they all seem to be having a little bit of problems. As I say that, Bence has done 3 5s in a row, but I think they're all a little bit inconsistent in terms of where they're fast on the track. And Corey is now going to, nearly swipes Cubis exiting turn 1.
Jeez, that was a bit of a wild moment from Corey there. Just had everything sliding. Probably not the best track to have everything sliding. That's mainly mainly good at Bathurst.
Brian Borg's now under pressure from Nick Cummins, was closing up very, very quickly on McLeod and Borg while they were battling. McLeod's cleared away, but Cummins is right there now. So another battle to watch that's going on.
Harvey had a little bit of a lunge on Preston as well. It's going to give Cubis a bit of breathing space.
Oh, Harvey's absolutely looking for it now. It looks like Corey has used up all of his rear tyres there, trying to attack Cubis. So it's going to be on for these last 3 laps. But back in the pack, we've got Guy Leach, Gary Cooper, and David Miller still having a battle. It's been going on all race long, and it looks like Gary's on the wrong end of the stick at the moment. He's right at the back of it, but he is about a second faster than the rest of them.
Yeah, great racing all throughout the field. We had a bit of a boring start to the season, but I think these supercars have really turned it up in the last 3 or 4 rounds, and I think this is probably one of the better finales we've had.
Yeah, the first couple of rounds were, there weren't many people racing, and mainly... Lucas got Corey.
And Bence is like, cheers fellas, off to P4.
Yep, Bence has benefited of that, and Lucas just waiting up, just being a gentleman there.
Yeah, great sportsmanship shown. I've never seen in a race so many guys just misinterpret apex speeds from guys in front of them and just tap them and turn them around. I think we've seen it probably 10 times throughout the field in this race, and a little bit bizarre.
Yeah, the variety of corners here definitely opens it up. You've got a lot of really low speed stuff, and then as Corey runs wide there again, he's taken that really wide NASCAR style approach to that corner. But it's like you've got a lot of low speed corners and mid speed corners, and trying to balance your car out for both of them, it's like there's definitely a lot of different ways to set up your car.
Have a look at this for 9th, 10th, 11th. Borg, Cummins, Dodman. Borg and Cummins side by side, and Dodman's now involved as well.
Borgie's been under attack for a lot of this last stint from Mitch, so his tyres might be well and truly used up, and we'll see if he can keep a cool head and hold everyone behind. But the guys behind definitely have a lot of extra speed compared to him.
Borg, one of those guys that took a little bit less fuel, so he could even be fuel saving.
With battles subduing a little bit, do we want to take a ride on board with a guy who hasn't seen too much camera action, only clear track this whole race, Jared Filson?
Yeah, let's do it on board. We'll do the full lap as he comes up. I know the fans in the chat love it.
We'll take a ride on board lap 24 of this 25 lap race with the Harrop Racing TTR car of Jared Filson. Big moment from Phil Sell at the closing part of this.
I don't think that's how he's supposed to do it.
But other than that, a pretty awesome demonstration of how to get around this 5.15 kilometre Nurburgring GP. We are now onto the last lap for fuel cell, so we'll check in with a few of the other battles throughout the field.
They're just going to
That
replay
battle
on
with
screen.
Hayden Dodman.
Yeah, just got that on screen now. The replay of the pass Dodman. We see Cummins up the inside, and then on the outside of Borg, Cummins runs wide. Oh, almost contact between Dodman
That all
and
started
Cummins.
with Cummings doing an absolute deep move and trying to go around the outside of Borg into turn 1. And he just got stuck side by side quite awkwardly, but Dodman looks absolutely on it trying to get P10 on this lap. P9, sorry.
Give a bit of a shout out to Matt Stratford. We saw he had pace earlier in the race, but he's gone from 10th to 5th. Obviously capitalising from the incidents that Corey, Harvey and McLeod were all involved in, but
Such a clean car as well. He's been obviously just running all by himself all race and just having everyone explode around him, and you know, that's sometimes the best sort of race instead of getting into some of these punching matches like Hubis and Corey and Harvey have all done.
yeah, race of attrition is often one of the smartest races you can do, and I think most of the battles have cleared out.
It looks like Harvey is absolutely on trying to get Corey. Corey made a little mistake there heading out of some of the slow corners.
He might go for a last lap move into here. His line suits it, and he's gone down the inside. Pretty much just taking his normal line. He's got good traction as well. He's going to have the run down into the hairpin. It's going to be a dive, but he might have the overlap. Corey's too deep.
Oh! More contact again.
Yeah, Corey knew that Harvey would be there, but tried to push the issue a bit anyway.
Go back up the front though.
Take a look. Jared Filsell doing massive drifts as he throws it into the last corner. 25 laps at Nurburgring, your 2017 Season 2 finale winner at the Nurburgring, Jared Filsell for Trans-Tasman Racing.
Oh, and Mitch is up the inside of Luke there for what is it, 7th as well.
Yeah, good move.
Not going to be over though. I reckon Luke will maybe have another look into the chicane. He shows a nose on the brakes.
Oh, and the battle with Hayden Dodman. Dodman's come out on top there into the chicane.
Cummins might have enough to get Borg on this final corner, maybe.
Oh,
no, he's got to slow down.
Got to race to the line here, McLeod and Corey. Corey gets it done.
Corey by the nose.
That battle with Dodman has managed to stay fairly straight. Sullivan brings home P11.
5/100ths of a second at the end between Preston and McLeod.
And nothing in it between those two. But just having some of our guys back in the field coming across the line to bring
Just
it
saw
home.
Ali Turkinen actually, as he's trying to get it home, he's just looped it in the chicane. Took a little bit of too much curve, and he's now got Luke Page. This is for 19th and 20th. They're right in it.
They just put the power down, but it's going to be Turkinen keeping that 19th.
Oh, that was quite an exciting race. Everyone spread out for a couple of laps there and then just got back into it. And, you know, it's great to see Jared, Marlon and Bo taking the top 3 there tonight.
Yeah, I did forget to mention that Jared, as he's just said in the text chat, has actually came tonight to try and get his pro license back. So, yeah, Jared, bit of a risk to do a race like this at this track, but has done really well to take the win. So we'll take a look through our race results. As we mentioned, Jared Filsell taking the win tonight with Marlon McMullen in P2. That will definitely give Marlon P3 in the championship, so congratulations to him. With Bo Cubis in 4th, Bo Cubis in 3rd, Jason Bentz in 4th, Matt Stratford 5th, Corey Preston running out 6th, Mitch McLeod in 7th with Luke Harvey in 8th, and Hayden Dodman making up 6 places to be in 9th with Brian Borg rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, over the page you've got Nick Cummins in 11th position, then Ryan O'Sullivan in 12th, Daniel Williams in 13th, Michael Hammond 14th, Michael Taliancic in 15th, David Miller, Guy Leach Gary Cooper, Ali Turkinen and Luke Page rounding out the 20, and the last driver to complete the race was Sean Chappell in 21st, with David Moore and Brendan Jackson DNFing this event.
Well, that was a great way to end our season, Jay, but I think it's been good to see it end. We'll come back next season. I know a lot of people are very, very happy about the schedule for next season. A lot of new tracks out and tracks we haven't raced on for a while.
Yeah, we start in 2 weeks' time. We go to Mosport for the first round. I'm really looking forward to going there. We've got Watkins Glen back in again, which always brings on an exciting race. But we're running the boot layout, and the schedules also will align with the Premier Series schedule as well. So whatever track we're racing at in the Prem Series on the Sunday night, we'll be there again the next night for the Monday night. So hopefully that'll increase participation as well, and we'll see if you guys decide to come and race Monday nights again. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It'll be a really good season next season. But we thought we'd have a quick chat to our race winner, Jared Filsell. Mate, pretty much we're in an all different league in that one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a ball fest, to be honest.
Got the pro license back though, mate?
Have we got the results back yet? I could tell you, but I don't have them.
Did you get any incidents in that one?
That's a yes.
Yeah, 2.
You'll be right then. You only need to gain 0.05.
Yeah, hopefully. Pro license is very harsh though, so I'll be surprised.
We're going to see you race a bit more on Monday night next season with the schedules aligning between the Premier Series and the official series.
Yeah, for sure, that'll be a lot easier for all the boys, especially putting a lot of work into one track 1 week and not having to relearn another track, so that should boost the series altogether. That'll be great.
Well, congratulations on the win, mate, and we'll no doubt see you on track next week, next Sunday night for the Premier Series.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Well, before we say goodbye for this season, I think, although you've been a bit part of the team for this round, Ian, I think we should congratulate you for a very awesome campaign in Season 2 this year, taking your 2nd championship. Any closing words before we head off for the next season?
No, I'd just like to thank the team. Obviously, everyone over there at Evolution Racing Team, they've definitely kept the ship rolling when I was touring around in F1 and GT3, and they kept the ball really high. And you know, everyone over there at Logitech, JRT, MPMS Racing Simulators and MS Limited, you know, they've all stepped on board and definitely been helping us out a lot. And it's great to see that you know, a couple of cars in the top 5 overall there, and it's going to be quite interesting to see if we can survive this change of schedule as well, just from the fact that, you know, it's been relatively the same tracks a couple of seasons over, and jumping into different tracks again, it's going to be interesting to see if we can keep the same sort of competitiveness. But other than that, just like to thank all the boys that, you know, do the little bits and pieces around the week, and, you know, we'll come out firing the rest of next season.
No doubt about it. Well, we'll take a quick look forward before we say goodbye to some of our rounds that we're going to see in the next couple of weeks in terms of V8sonline broadcasts. I believe, given that week 13 starts tomorrow, we won't see any iRacing Australia NZ Truck Series this week.
No,
that
end of that series, yeah.
Last week, and Porsche Carrera Cup Australia I don't think we'll see for a little while either. But this weekend, V8 Supercars Online Premier Series heads to one of the most unique and different tracks we've ever been to. Our first Roval in terms of Homestead Miami Speedway. So for round 5 of the series, catch us on Sunday afternoon for that one. But until then, we'll say goodnight for now. This has been Jay Kennedy, Ian Ford and Jake Burton for V8sonline. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast this season. Your race winner tonight, Jared Filsell, and your series champion, Ian Ford for Evolution Racing Team. See you guys next season.